Hi everyone, we are Team Brighton Park Group 1. Our team consists of myself, Alan Waters, Julissa Ramos, Marisol Abrego, and Marcus McKay. We also want to thank our mentors, Stephen Ignalcy, Becky Smith, and Danielle Davis for their advice and supervision during this program. So our topic is a lack of access and awareness to community resources and services. We chose this problem as our topic because this is something I can relate to. I got to know about SGA, which is one of the organizations here, only because a friend that knew some of the people working there told me about it. And I believe there must be other people like me that could benefit greatly from these kind of services. But if they are unaware of their existence, then they won't be able to have access to them. And they're missing out on opportunities like this one. Because I'm sure that if it weren't for SGA, I most certainly wouldn't be here today giving this presentation. But anyway, our problem comes down to these 3 key points. The first one is that we believe the community lacks the awareness of these existing organizations. Just like I mentioned before, it seems that unless you hear about these services from a friend that is aware of them, chances are you won't get to know they exist. Our second problem is travel distance, because this could be discouraging to those that have to go through long commuting times that would be a hassle to do on a daily basis. And also, sometimes certain organizations do not show any indication from the sign outside about what kind of service they provide or who they work for. It is not clear for people unless you do some research on it. So what can we do about it? For that, let's talk about some solutions.
These are some solutions we came up with. The first one being marketing. We could use marketing as a way of spreading awareness about these resources and support centers. One example would be making posters with information about them and putting them on bus stops. We could also benefit from social media. Nowadays, everyone is using Facebook, Snapchat, or Instagram. You could use these apps to advertise these organizations. Our last solution could be reaching out to organizations that could help us bring resources to our community. Speaking of organizations, these are some of the examples of the organizations we thought of. SGA Youth and Family Services, Chicago Youth Centers, New Moms, the Catholic Charities, Greater Chicago Food, and NAMI Chicago.
But when analyzing our solutions, we realized that we have strengths like being able to help youth reach a better future and make an impact in our community. But we have weaknesses too, like the cost of everything. Affordability would be a big problem for us, just like having to depend on the availability of other support organizations.
But this will also bring opportunities, like being able to network with these support organizations and the people involved with them. And a big threat that could stop our idea would be the current lack of funding of these support organizations that has come with the problem brought by the COVID-19 pandemic.
With all that With all that being said, this is what we came up with, and we want to thank you all for your time and your attention. From our Brighton Park team to you, thank you.
That was amazing. Do we have any questions from the judges or feedback?
Very great presentation. Love the information. I'm going to ask one question about, I'm curious, when you think about social media and marketing, do you think sometimes the message is more important, or do you think the messenger? So, is it the influencer that gets the message out, or do you think, so you want to spend time seeing who do people listen to in the community, or do you think it's more about the message itself and should spend some time really honing those messages? What pieces of information do you want to get out there?
So, well, first, let me just ask my team, is there anyone that wants to answer this question? I offer myself to answer it, but if anyone else would like to offer to answer the question, that's fine too. So I'm just, I guess no one has anything. So, well, I mean, I guess it really depends because, when it comes to actors or, well, I think mostly like actresses or just people from Hollywood and all that, they they take whatever they say and they put it like on a pedestal. But I guess for this, what we're talking about, it would be mostly about like having a page for our, let's say SGA, for example. I was talking about this organization before. Just a way of like a local page here in Chicago, so that people can follow it and like get an idea of what the service or like the organization provides. But mostly that would be mostly for people that are looking for this type of support, right? Because whenever you look online about these things, it can be a little bit intimidating. But on Facebook and all that, I guess it's easier to look up these types of things or any other social media. So yeah, that's just the idea we got. But other than that, I don't know if this answers your question or.
Yes, thank you.
Great.
Awesome. Thank you, Brighton Park. That was amazing. Next up, Team Rodax.
Can you see my screen? No. Now?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Are you guys ready?
Team Rodax. Team Rodax, I'm sorry to cut you off, but our third judge, Curtis, hopped on. So we'll give you 30 more seconds so he can reintroduce himself. You already met him on the first session, but just say hi.
My apologies for being late. Really excited to be back here with you all. I know you're all going to do fantastic. Again, my name's Curtis Reed, Region Manager, JPMorgan Chase for our Chicago region. Just to remind you, I'm from Chicago, grew up in Naperville, live in Hinsdale today. Our middle market business, our clients are companies that have sales as high or as low as 20 million and as high as 500 million across a variety of industries, all in the Chicago area. So again, glad to be here. Look forward to the presentation. Good luck to everyone.
So much, Curtis. Appreciate it. Team Rodax.
All right, should I start now? Okay, so our team is Rodax. The team is I, Claire Favela, Jonathan Landa, and Ani Favela. So the problem, do you feel safe going out with your friends? I, for one, have not hung out with my friends in a very long time due to safety being a huge concern and the possibility of jeopardizing my friend's health or their relatives' health. And a lot of people follow the same line of thinking, especially since there has been an increase in COVID-19 cases, and right now, a lot of restaurants and businesses have had to modify how they operate, and there's a lot of misinformation about what is going on with the businesses. And there's also varying comfort levels with COVID-19. Some people are comfortable wearing a mask, other people feel more safe at home, and this is just conflicting things.
So COVID has also taken a toll on mental health as everything shifts to remote learning. 67% of parents with children ages 5 to 17 are worried that their children will fall behind emotionally and socially, as there are now fewer opportunities for them to engage with their peers. And with school closures, students do not have the same access to key mental health services. And we also found that 71% of college students indicated increased levels of stress, anxiety, and depressive thoughts due to the COVID-19 outbreak. And so as a result, we decided to focus our attention to students ages 15 to 24. We interviewed 17, 23, 19 students. We found that students typically get together somewhat spontaneously. They're willing to search for a long period of time for their schedules to match up and prefer to spend time in familiar areas and places near their home. And due to this, we came to the conclusion that in-person connections are highly valued to these students, and to reach out to local businesses and public health officials to better inform our target audience of precautions that are being taken.
The opportunity is that many students are restricted to staying at home and have limited options in how to engage with others, making e-learning the only source of engagement they have, and also making it people unsafe to go out again. Spending time outside either in nature or new relaxing environments has shown to benefit mental health. So Rodax would make new environments more accessible, whether physically or virtually.
So our solution is Rodax, which is an app that would provide social opportunities, both in person and virtual. It would promote community, businesses, and programs, and have up-to-date information about safety guidelines within the community and businesses. And this would also make it easy to share plans with friends and family and would save time coordinating. And we're just going to do a walkthrough through our app. So this is our home screen. If you create an account, you fill in these fields, click done. And it would use your current location to show areas near you. On activities, you can click on a location and you would see the information at the location and have the option to share it if you'd like. And then if you click on journal, you can either create an itinerary or log memories of your trip. And another tab is COVID-19, which has the 3 things everyone should be following. If you click on the link, it takes you to Chicago COVID info page, where you can learn more about what's going on. And profile page just has my preferences, wish list, trips, and friends, which you could add as you use the app.
Our SWOT analysis is that strengths relate to our target audience, and we've interviewed several students regarding COVID-19 and how their outings have changed. Weaknesses are maintaining up-to-date information, and that's again COVID-19 and health guidelines and businesses and virtual events changing. Currently only focused in Chicago, and opportunities are focusing on COVID-19 awareness and having an increase in virtual events. Threats are other event sites and seasonal changes, such as decrease in outdoor activities in the winter.
Okay. To sum up, Rodax provides social opportunities in person and virtual. During this unprecedented year, Rodax allows us to maintain community and mental wellness. Thank you. Any questions?
Well done. Way to go, Team Rodax. Judges, do you have any questions or feedback?
Yeah, sure. I have a question. Great job in creating the app and the idea. But if we assume that we will have vaccines soon and COVID hopefully will be under control by, let's say, the middle of next year, are you marketing your app to be a resource for the next pandemic, considering that it may take some time to get significant uptake to the point where it could be impactful? So how did you think about that, and what's your plan for the application long term?
Yeah, so this is something that, well, it's good for COVID, but even long term, it'll still be like a Hangout app. So it'd have all the events up to date. And if there is, fingers crossed, there is no other pandemic. But if there is, it will be applicable to then as well.
Also, from the pandemic, we've learned a lot of new ways to reconnect with people from like different areas of the world. So I think people will still continue doing virtual events for people who can't come into the place. So this would still be like a location where you can find virtual things.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Well done. Thank you. All right. Next up, we have Hirsch, Group 1. Hirsch, Group 1, you ready?
Yeah. Open it.
Okay. All right. I'm going to stop sharing my screen.
Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Group 1 from Hirsch. Let's do it.
Hello, this is Group 1, Team Hirsch. The young professionals that we have in our group is Diamante Lucas, Alexis Diggs, which is me, Cariana Johnson, Malik Townsend. The mentors we have in this group is Andrew Tumble, Lindsay Shaw, Edrado Reyes, and Edrado Reyes. The problem that we chose was violence and getting illegal guns off the street. We chose this problem because we wanted to try and stop violence, even though we can't stop it. The problems and solutions that we came up with are: why is having illegal guns on the street a problem? And where would the money come from to buy back the guns? Why are illegal firearms a problem? The reason illegal firearms are a problem because citizens are getting murdered due to gun violence. Teens are being involved in the violence. And violence cannot stop because of continuous access to firearms. And also, there is a lack of responsibility amongst gun owners.
Hi, I'm Diamante Lucas, representing Hurst. Today I would be presenting why should we stop the violence? But I'm presenting the difference between legal guns and illegal guns. And bullet point one, legal guns are registered and you have a permit for them. You feel me? Like if you get a legal gun, you're gonna have to get a permit. It probably take a few months, but you're gonna get your permit. You're gonna be legal to carry your gun around. Legal firearms are typically carried without legal permits. You feel me? Like illegal firearms, you can't carry you can't carry no type of illegal firearm without a permit. Illegal guns can be bought off the dark web, black market, or any illegal seller. Like you could get any kind of illegal gun from anybody. But you can't go up to no gun store and get a gun from them because you don't have a permit. But you could get any gun. You could get any other kind of gun from any other body, but it's gonna be illegal though. Like it's not gonna be like you can't carry it around. Like you gonna go to jail. Yeah. Legal firearms are easier to be traced to an owner in the unfortunate event that are used. Like the legal firearm, like you get caught with the legal firearm, it's gonna go right back to the person you got it from. Like, and that's gonna be a bad thing for them because he ain't even doing nothing wrong with the gun because he's selling it to you. And you doing bad, you doing wrong with the person gun you got. You feel me? Like, it's gonna get traced back to that owner. All right, illegal firearms can be traced. However, it is difficult to point an individual because of the modifications to the firearm. Like the legal arm, the illegal gun, it could be traced, but it's gonna be hard to like really find that person. You feel me? Next slide. Buyback day, this one of the we decided a buyback day to buy back the guns. You feel me? To stop the violence. Like we just thought as a whole team we thought let's just have a buyback day to get every gun off the street. You feel me? So that's what we picked. So I'm gonna read these off to y'all. Offer a buyback day when firearms are bought back by the police department without any questions. However, have these days at random and during long periods of time. The payment for these firearms can be in the form of gift cards, for example. Recommendation: do not offer buyback day during the summer or spring. So we say do not offer to have the buyback day during the summer or spring because we don't know if it during them selling, bringing their guns back. If we get their guns and we get them the money from bringing their guns in, we don't know what would be the cost. We probably cause the summer is always, you feel me? It's always hot in the summer. It'd be too many people around. You don't know what's gonna go on. You feel me? We probably get robbed for all the guns that we getting back. Somebody probably come take all the guns from us. Now they got a bunch of guns. So that's why we say don't do it in the summer. You feel me? But that was all my presentation. Y'all gonna see me on the last tour.
Hi, Team Hirsch. Hi, this is Cheryl. So that was your 5 minutes. Are you open to questions? Judges, do you have questions for Team Hirsch?
Any questions? Any questions? Going once, going twice?
I have one. Thank you for the presentation. Really important, one of the most critical issues in our community. My question is, who do you think should be leading the buyback day? Do you think it should be part of church or faith community? Do you think it should be part of the police or a nonprofit or the city or a combination of people?
Let me answer that. I think we should have, like, we could really do it ourselves, you feel me? But I think we should just have like some kind of protection around us, you feel me? Like some kind of like bodyguard arm, like police or something. You feel me? Cause these is too many
They
guns.
going nowhere with a pole where 12s at.
Like these is too many guns.
Thank you.
I know we ran over, but I was one of the mentors. Alexis, do you maybe just want to flip to the last slide? Because I think that may tackle the question. I know we ran a little over, but I think that also kind of helps out because you guys had some great ideas about partnership in the community.
The last slide, it was like they asked us where would the money come from? Like where would we get the money from to have our backpack program? Like we said, a church, community sponsored fundraiser. You feel me? Like we could have a fundraiser, save all that money just to have our backpack program, and for them to bring all the guns back. And we could like, you know, people be going to church. The people up in church, like they be saying saying tabs, like they be coming around with bows. You feel me? Like I know, like they ain't really doing nothing for the church, like, but it's still a godly thing. You feel me? Like we could take that money that the people come in with and have our little backpack program for the community to get the violence up out the street.
All right. Thank you, Team Hirsch. Well done. Next up, South Shore Group 1. South Shore Group 1.
Okay, hi guys, I'm Cameron Pondexter and I'm introducing Team South Shore Group 1. The people that's in the group is Marshawn Cooper, Portia Edwards, Anaya Hall, Brielle Smith, and Kyra Kemp. We are talking about violence and how to end violence with our creative safe space for teens. Okay, the main objective of our petition is to decrease violence in community and help students stay safe and have a safe environment so they won't be so scared to go out and have fun and ride bikes like we used to do.
Petitions allow people to give out their opinions in a peaceful way so that others can feel them and see where they're coming from in a deeper way. After-school programs help people stay out of trouble and not in the way. Attending after-school programs lead to a better improvement in class participation, better adjustment as young people move to the next phase of schooling, increasing school day attendance and participation, and reducing school dropout rates. And next to we have an example of a petition for women rights.
Okay, our top 3 weaknesses that we were talking about, like major reasons, were participants, funding, and correct timing for signing a petition. Participants are one of our weaknesses because in order for us to create the safe space for students to go to, we need participants to sign the petition in order for us to get that space. So number is a major thing. Another factor that goes into our topic is money. Money is another factor because in order for us to have or get the space for us to have funding and money for us for those programs, and also money to afford the center. And lastly, the timing is another factor because we have to think about a great time that it's good for everyone to come out and sign a petition because we need to get as much signatures as we can as possible.
Opportunities. A petition for the safe space to provide opportunities for the homeless of all ages, or a safe space and community will also allow others to come voice their opinions after school, like we in after school programs, like such as this one, the one we are currently in. It may help violence and could possibly have more students active in the community through sports and arts and other active activities after school.
Some threats that we have, it would be a competitive nature of activities that might have an opposite effect of our safe space. A person who doesn't agree with the petition to make the violence would stop our flow. Someone who doesn't accept the help that we are willing to give will also intervene in our the success of our program, and they wouldn't have any motivation to actually be involved in what we're trying to give.
In conclusion, the programs that we will be including in this center will be art, music, and sports, considering those are the main programs that every student is always choosing either during school or after school madness. But then also we're going to include homework tutoring because every student is getting more homework day by day and not having enough time to do it because they either busy with their job, their home life, or their personal life, or they got something personal going on. Anybody got any questions?
Yeah, I have a question, just to be clear. Walk me through the petition process and what does that actually, when you say the safe space, walk me through how the petition process leads to the safe space.
Okay, so we have a petition for students like under age 18 that can sign so they can get a safe space. Like, you know how schools have after school programs? We kind of have that too, but it's just like more of a kid-friendly type of place to keep violence and bad vibes away.
So would the safe space be in the school?
Yeah, it'll be in the school and around in the community, all in general. We're just trying to prevent all the violence that's happening now, not to happen further on down.
Got it. Thank you.
Team Beach Street.
Before we begin, we'd like to introduce ourselves. My name is George Angel, and I'm part of Team B Street. Currently, we do have two members who could not make it today, but me and my partner Jonathan, we're going to try to present our presentation as great as possible. And we'd like to thank all of our mentors and everybody who's helped us gotten this far. And Jonathan, if you'd like to introduce yourself as well.
Yeah, my name is Jonathan Egan, also no member of Team B Street as well. So, yeah. So surprisingly, one of the biggest problems that we face in Chicago are potholes and bad roads in general, with most of those potholes being located in the south and west part of Chicago neighborhoods. Recently, in 2018, 2,300 potholes out of 20,000 potholes were fixed out of in the whole Chicago area, which shows us how the Chicago city system only prefers certain areas to fix potholes and damaged roads than other areas. We want to engage with the community and help their voices be heard, and as well as creating a system that allows our community to have a say in which roads they want to fix instead of the roads that city officials elect to fix. As of right now, we're currently understanding the process of street resurfacing, as well as understanding why some streets are being ignored while other streets are being fixed around the city. And we've already created these connections, but we're creating more of connections with city officials to determine how they can start applying this method of fixing streets in lower income neighborhoods. As of right now, the connections we've made are with the 45th Ward, Jim Gardner, our 49th Ward, Maria Haddon, and with the Department of Transportation.
So in order to tackle this problem, my team and I created an application known as Beat Street. And in this application, we are able, we want to create an application where users are able to submit reports and to databases in order to vote on which streets are in need of repair. So we have a leaderboard system in which we'll explain shortly. Next slide, please. To do this, we wanted to create, we need implementations in our application, such as map views, cell views, arts view controllers, and overall our design updates and share to social media. To kind of go on to the next thing, in our application, like I said, we utilize a voting system, so users can create reports to report their streets that are in need of repair. And to do this, residential users are able to vote on the streets that are in need of repair because our main problem is that all streets, there's a big unequal equity in the city of Chicago, that not all streets are evenly taken care of in each residential neighborhood. And we're trying to do a leaderboard to do that, so we can congregate masses of residential community members to put forth their voice and say that we need our street fixed as soon as possible. We do this by creating a report, and in our report, we provide the users location, their ward number, as well as a photo for the report of the street. And we also pin drop their location in order to make this easier. And we submit the report to our databases. And overall, we're trying to create an application that that empowers our users and unites people within our communities to put streets together and vote on them to get our voices heard. That way, we can work with the city and respond to everybody. Thank you for your time.
Awesome. That was wonderful. Loved it. Do we have questions from the judges or feedback?
So Jorge and Jonathan, great job. I love the idea as someone who drives from time to time, and I think potholes are a nuisance for all of us. This seems like a very straightforward, practical app that I think everyone can get behind, not just those in those neighborhoods, but I could see this being applicable all across the city. And so I guess one question is, in terms of uptake in your analysis, did you think about how many users you might have for this? And as we think about cell phone and digital access, how did you think about the user piece of this when we think about older citizens that may not necessarily have access to tech?
Yes, actually, our target audience is actually applies to anybody who uses city or any sort of transportation. We understand that our age group is actually anybody who I guess can drive or uses some sort of city transportation, whether that be buses, taxis, or Uber or anything else. And in doing so, we're trying to target that audience because we feel that they'll be able to be more adept with the technology needed to report these disturbances within the city and within the with these potholes.
Thank you.
Yeah, Jorge, Jonathan, I agree. Really good job. I think everybody would love to get rid of potholes. I'm curious on I think the first slide you showed 2,300 potholes fixed out of a total of 20,000, and you referenced that primarily the south and west sides don't get as much love in terms of that. Do you have that breakdown, or is that in terms of what areas, or do you know of the 2,300, how many of those were in the south and west sides and how many maybe weren't? And if you don't know the answer to that, that's okay.
This is an overall projection of the entire city. This is mainly projected towards the other parts of the cities, not like the south side. And just we noticed that in our resources that the city tends to allocate their resources to the more downtown area, and we feel that there is the inequity that like these resources should be distributed equally throughout the entire city as opposed to just the main downtown area.
Yeah, that was my guess, was that it probably is and not equitable. But I was just curious if we had the exact stats, but thank you.
And next up, we have Hirsch, Group 2. Hirsch, Group 2, you're up.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ari, Group 2 from Hirsch. The young professionals in my group are Kanara, Darius, Amber, myself. Mentors, Adrian, Tom, Ivana.
Hi, my name is Kanara, and I will be telling you the problem. The problem is it's over 165,000 homeless people in Illinois. Homeless people have no access to basic resources like birth certificates, phones, social security cards, and numbers. Lack of affordable houses, mental illness, and poverty, substance of abuse, and a lack of needed service. Okay, helping the homeless obtain basic documents. Why is it important for homeless to obtain state IDs and social security cards? For one, they need to have it for jobs, to apply for food stamps, or to apply for anything big. Steps to obtain these basic documents: you will have to go to the DMV, and you will need the location, the transportation, and you will have to have money for payment.
The strengths from doing this project will be clean up the community. By doing this, it will help lessen the number of homeless people on the street, reducing the chance of more people getting COVID.
Careers. Check at churches if there are no programs at shelters. Talk to local shelters about opportunities for job training. Inquire at shelters about housing opportunities to make job hunting easier. Get a cheaper cell phone and plan so jobs can contact you. Write up a resume to show employers your skills and experiences.
Applying for food stamps. The problem is homeless people have no food to eat, and our solution would to be food stamps. In this document, I listed ways how to get food stamps, and our goal is to bring awareness and let them know that this exists. Any questions?
Well done. Judges, do you have questions or feedback for Team Hirsch?
Yeah, this is Charlie. Great presentation, thank you. And another critical issue in our community. You mentioned the huge number of people who are homeless or have a very tenuous housing situation. Would you think about, are there communities in which you think that some of your recommendations would apply maybe more easily and some that may be more difficult? In other words, within that broader population of homeless families or homeless people, are there some solutions that may be better for some and some that might be better for others?
I feel like, yes, it is going to be like that, because say if there's like homeless people with kids, it would probably be easier because like people gonna look at it like they got kids and they really need help. But like a single person being homeless and have nothing, they would like need more, and it's single, so they would have more questions on how did you get that way.
Thank you.
One question is, I think you are trying to solve the problem of homelessness. But one of your comments was to clean up the neighborhoods. Are you referring to getting the homeless people off the street as cleaning up the neighborhoods, or is there also another benefit to this program that would actually result in physically cleaning up neighborhoods?
We're talking about just removing the homeless, like when you go into stores and like people come up ask you for stuff. Like sometimes people not as happy to give a homeless person, some be rude. So like clean up the surroundings would be removing the homeless. One of the reasons would be removing the homeless.
Yeah, just a bit of feedback in terms of that wording. I think, people are homeless for many reasons. And so you may think about reframing that, to not insinuate that the homeless are dirty or, unsightly. Maybe framing that a little bit differently as you talk about it. But thank you for explaining.
Next up, Brighton Park Group 2.
Good afternoon. Okay, there we go. Good afternoon, Team Brighton Park Group 2. My name is Deshaun Maxwell. Here we have Maurice H., Markenia J., Stacy V., Austin M., Deshaun myself. We have Mr. Praveen, Miss Tracy, and Miss Natalia, who are our mentors. The problems we face in the community start at the age group at high school students. High school students may not have the proper technology, like say for instance, Wi-Fi computers or electronics, period, to advance them to the next level, say for college. And nor do they have the motivation to, keep them going to the next level to elevate themselves.
Social media as a building block, and ways to use social media to acquire resources for education would be using social media to reach out to large companies to ask for donations and equipment. Also, networking among people to be able to find available resources. Another way would be to build awareness, like GoFundMe pages or fundraisers. Also, social media to share textbooks for sharing among friends and family. Solutions that we came up with will be reaching out to companies that have resources that can help provide assistance. Also, donations from large companies that have large emphasis on social responsibilities. And the rest of our solutions will pass off to Stacy.
Number 3 would be using social media to build awareness, like a GoFundMe page or fundraiser. Number 4 would be community involvement in providing resources. They should set up programs to help students decide what they want to achieve in the future. Number 5, goal-oriented actions to be able to complete tasks by setting alarms to remind ourselves that there's a deadline. Number 6, set up an app/social media group to share textbooks for sharing among friends. Pass it on to Maurice.
Lastly, one thing I would like to reiterate on how social media plays a big part in building awareness and the lack of resources in the education system. Some of the strengths are using social media to reach out to large companies for donations, networking among people to find available resources, building awareness like through social media with GoFundMe and fundraisers. Social media, like sharing textbooks among friends. Some of the weaknesses are like fake news, just information that you wouldn't want to reach the audience, and no physical contact, making it less personal. Transitioning over to Markenia Jackson.
And some opportunities for social media would be being able to reach larger audiences for communities around the globe. A second opportunity would be being able to network. Third, being able to have additional resources that will be beneficial for us. Some threats for social media might be some privacy issues, also being able to misread or skew the message, also being able to have scams and fake pages as well. And finally, we might run into some fraud. That concludes our presentation. So I want to thank everyone for listening on behalf of Group 2. If you guys have any questions, please don't be afraid to ask.
Nice. Well done. Judges, do we have questions or feedback?
You know, there was a comment on the first slide, and I just want to make sure I understood lack of motivation. And I just want to make sure I understood, was it the lack of resources that leads to the motivation to get tasks done? Just want I want more clarity on number 6.
Well, actually, in communities like, you know, Black and brown communities don't have a lot of, you know, people to look up to motivate them to want to go do something great with their lives, like go to college or whatever it is that's positive.
Okay. So more mentors, more people to look up to. And so would social media play a role in that?
No, I say this is more of like yourself, like a mental thing.
Yeah.
I want to also add to that, some of the motivation would possibly come because if they have lack of resources. Some students might feel just because they don't have certain things that other students might feel, they might feel discouraged a little. So I definitely feel motivation can play a part of different aspects within a student's lives as well.
Okay, thank you.
And next up is South Shore Group 2.
Hi, my name is Sierra Miller, and I'm a part of South Shore Group 2. So this is our team: Aaron Lucas, Samai Sanders, Camila Weatherholt, Samaria Lawrence, and me. Our mentors are Leah Turnbull, James Gergone, and Kelly Jacobson. And I apologize, I didn't say that our project is feeding the homeless.
Introduction. Did you know roughly 550,000 people are homeless here in the United States? Where I'm from in Chicago, homelessness has been a huge problem for a long time now. People are suffering for their lives, not eating, barely sleeping, and cold. We all know how Chicago weather can get at times, so we want to help out by feeding them. We want to help save lives, but we can't do it alone. We need your help too.
Our potential project: how will we feed the homeless? Bullet point 1, food drives. Bullet point 2, get to food pantries. And bullet point 3, Thanksgiving basket breakage.
Steps to solving this plan. Step 1, find a location. If it's outdoors food, put up a tent. Step 2, find investors and donators, such as social media. Look on social media for people to help us. And step 3, find volunteers. Ask family, friends, and people also off social media. Step 4, advertise to the homeless. Flyers within that area.
This is our SWOT analysis. Our strengths consist of, since Thanksgiving is coming up next week, this would be a great opportunity, knowing that not everybody has the finances to support even having a Thanksgiving. This would be a great opportunity to do that. Also, giving happiness and saving lives. Our weaknesses are hard to get people involved, and that's what funders and volunteers. And then also having a food shortage and limitations of food. Also, no variety of food. And what we mean by that is not everybody would have the accessibility to be able to cook the food if we provided food that needed to be cooked. Opportunities, getting the community to be involved and finding funders and businesses within the community. Our threats, of course, would be COVID-19 and the weather.
To conclude our presentation, we think that you should get back and help the less fortunate because they're human beings too. Giving food to them helps to take a step in solving one of the many issues they have going on in their lives. They don't have homes, they don't have food, and most of the time they don't have families. They already have so many obstacles to face, so this makes it just a little bit easier for them. First, we'll spread the word about our project. Then we'll find a location, then we will find an investor, and then we'll find volunteers. When the time comes, we will deliver as much food as we can to them with the money or items that we collect. With COVID-19 and the pandemic going on, the cold weather slowly approaching, and other obstacles that we may face, we'll find a way to keep everyone safe and make sure that we have done our job correctly so everyone is satisfied and happy. When you are very fortunate and blessed, you forget about what's going on around you in your community. So when you really take a look and open your eyes and give back, it's really a great feeling to help someone in need. So why should you give back? 1, you will be reminded that you are very fortunate. 2, it will make someone's day. 3, it will open your eyes to what's really going on in your area, because sometimes you may be blind to the problems that other people are facing around you. 4, you will learn not to judge. And 5, you will experience a sense of accomplishment. And when I tell you it's a good feeling, it's a great feeling.
Thank you so much for listening. We appreciate it. Any questions, comments, and concerns?
And also, I'm part of group 2, and I went ahead, me and my family went ahead, and we decided to feed the homeless. So as of right now, we're currently bagging some things up. I don't know if you guys can see it, but we're bagging it up right now to feed the homeless tomorrow.
Awesome. Nice job, South Shore. Questions, judges?
Well, thank you. That was a really inspiring presentation. My question is, I've seen in this COVID environment, I've seen some neighborhoods that set up just drop-off locations. So they'll pick a corner, and they'll put out very clearly marked signs that say, "Take what you need." I'm wondering if you think, is there something missing from a personal touch when it's kind of food or toiletries or things that people need just anonymously donated? Or do you think there's something really valuable with having a personal connection as well? Or do you think there's kind of room for both?
I do think that personal connection may need to be there. That's why when we were thinking about doing this, one of our ideas was to deliver the food to them personally, but also still have social distancing going on in our mask still. And we also wanted to have it outside. I think Samaya had mentioned earlier, having it outside and having people be able to come, but also still being able to social distance. So I don't think that it would be as effective if we just had it like people would just come and we just drop the stuff off and they wouldn't see us.
Thank you.
And last but not least, Team Easy Peasy.
So hello everyone, we are Easy Peasy, and today we'll be presenting our app, Easy Peasy, the Job Finder app. And so the developers are me, Juan Renteria, Jesus Renteria, and Isabella Iniguez. And then our mentors, as we want to thank because they have helped us throughout the process, is Myron and Ale Toro.
Well, the problem we address is that minorities face more challenges than others when applying to jobs. For example, they have to deal with lack of opportunities, language barriers, and just the innate biases of employers. Like looking at the graph, you can see that the unemployment rates among minorities are higher than compared to other races or ethnicities. There's also just a general lack of awareness of organizations who help minorities get jobs. So organizations whose aid goes unknown by those who need it most. Especially during the coronavirus, where over 29 million people in the United States lost their jobs, we really need an app that can help solve all these problems in one.
So some of the things that we learned throughout the program was that we had to start small. So like some of our mentors that told us that, like we can't start off really big. So, start off small, local areas, small businesses, you can't go straight up to like big corporations like Walmart or Jewel Osco, stuff like that. We were also taught that focusing on partnerships is also important, especially on deciding who makes the changes and who can make the biggest change, and also understanding the expectations versus reality between what those partners actually want you to do or what you want their partners to do and what they actually will do.
And then we also, for our research process, we had interviews with small businesses and other organizations. And what we learned is that like small businesses don't hire often, and they struggle to build an online presence, and they can't afford to have inexperienced workers. And so since they are small businesses, like they don't have large facilities, or they just like don't have, or most of them are family run, so they don't really need that much help, and they don't really, and also like they can't really spread out as easily as other corporations because they don't have an online presence, which is something that's really big in these days. And then also was talking with the organization Skills for Chicagoland's Future. We also realized that our competitors aren't LinkedIn or Glassdoor. So like this could be like another, this isn't just another job finder app, because we want to focus mainly on minorities first of all, and then also young young diverse talent, so between like the ages of 16 and 30, while LinkedIn is more of a professional type of area. Like those are for professionals who have like VP or CEO, CFO positions in different corporations, and that's not who our audience is, and so like we just won't really clash that much. And yeah, it's to show that like we are something different.
As previously mentioned, our target users are like young, diverse talent, so from around high school to after college. So our focus in Chicago are local businesses seeking to expand, mainly because starting local helps us build like a track record. So when we partner with large corporations, they'll be more likely to partner with us, and local businesses who are seeking expansion are more likely to hire more. And we also want to focus on nonprofit because they could also, through that partnering, we could be able to support minorities more, and as well as being partnering with local businesses run by minorities.
And so we want to, so the goals for our app is to create a minority-friendly job finder app. So we want to make it minority friendly, but not minority exclusive. So anybody who is trying to get a job could go here. We just want to focus on helping minorities find jobs, or help them primarily find jobs and feel supported. Then we also want to have a personalized, inclusive, and easy to use app. So as I said before, like we don't want to make it just exclusive to minorities. We want it to be personalized, and so anybody could use it and get most of the uses for the app. And it's also simple for anybody of any age to use. And then we also want to spread awareness on minority-focused organizations. So again, like those minorities, they could feel supported by learning more about different organizations, and those who aren't of that minority, they could still learn, donate, or volunteer the time however they want. And then the last goal is to create transparency between employees and potential employees. So not only do we want our users to know like, oh, this is the position I'm applying for, this is the salary, you know, all that, like the numbers, but we also want them to know what the working environment is like. And we do that through multiple features in our app. So right now I could try to run our app just to demo it real quick. All right, so this is the login screen. And so here, like, let's say you can make an account. So here you put your information, and here you will put your profile, which is how we create this app to be personalized. Here are examples of stores or companies, but these are bigger companies. So these are just for examples. As we said before, we're gonna focus on smaller local businesses. And if you click here, it's just like a map. So here you can see like the total jobs around you, and this is all like based on the area. So based on what you put, it will change. And here, like, it's an example of what it will look like. And this is still hard coded, but you know, we're still working on that and definitely gonna make it work. And then this part is to get involved, where you can learn about different organizations. And this is just like this is just a hub of information. Like here, you could get involved, and you could go to the respective websites and learn more through their own websites, instead of having to have another whole nother thing. And here's just your displayed profile.
Thank you, easy peasy. That was your 5 minutes.
All right, great.
Judges, do we have questions or feedback?
Thank you, guys. First of all, great logo.
Thank you.
I guess one question that you can answer is whether easy peasy means anything, but I like the logo. Second, you had a number of small businesses on there. Just curious if you spoke with them and if they had any insights into what type of talent that they would be looking for that would help you, or did you only do research with the other job access providers? And then 3, you mentioned these small businesses, mom and pa shop type businesses, but then also on your application, you had Walgreens and a bunch of other bigger companies. So just want to point out that seemingly disconnect there, but like curious on the research front if you ended up talking to any of those businesses as you did your research.
Yeah. So for the demo, that was just like for show. Like I think we haven't updated that part just because we aren't really sure of who we're gonna partner with yet. But yeah, I would definitely try to get that sorted. And yeah, so for our research, we did want to get interviews in. So we have talked to the Rango's Bakery, which is like a local bakery shop in the Gage Park area. We've we've had calls with another store like the La Michoacana, which is like an ice cream shop. It's actually very popular in like I think all throughout Chicago, and also El Güero, which is a supermarket. And so yeah, we have had interviews to learn more about like what their business is like and what they're looking for. And so smaller businesses are family owned, which so like I think I mentioned this before, like it's harder for them to hire because of that, because they're small, because they're mainly family led. Like they don't really look for strangers to come and like to hire. And so which is why we want to specify local businesses who are seeking to expand. And we also found that that supermarkets are generally more accessible to everybody because those aren't mainly family led. And so like there are many more positions open, and they do hire more often because most supermarkets have multiple locations, or the ones that we are hoping to partner up with.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for the question.
Awesome. Very nice. Thank you. Thank you, team. Easy peasy. All right. So now it's time for the judges. I'm going to put you into a breakout room, judges, and you guys are going to tabulate. Hang tight. All right. So we wanted to do some thank yous. We wanted to start out, this was definitely a bit of a lift. This training, this workshop is normally done in person. So we get to all be in a room together, and we get to, use flip chart paper, and we have toys on the table that for you to play with, like fidget spinners and all that good stuff. And we were not able to do that. COVID said no. So we decided we were going to go remote. And we had to figure out our Zooms. We had to get multiple Zooms because you're such a large group, but we figured it out. And I got to give a huge shout out to all the young professionals for taking this journey with us. When the recruitment started, we weren't 100% certain how this was going to look or how it was going to feel, but we knew we wanted to do it because the information that you're receiving and the support that you're able to get, we thought would be invaluable. So we're just going to do it, and we're going to see how it goes. And I think overall it was amazing. And it was amazing because you all made it amazing. So thank you to all the young professionals for joining us. And to the mentors, we could not have done it without you. So JPMorgan Chase has been a huge proponent of mentoring over the years. You guys really put your hearts and souls into it between this program and TFI and all the other initiatives that you offer. So thank you so much to JPMorgan Chase for taking this time and spending it with our young professionals. Program coordinators, when you guys signed the kids up, I'm sure you guys didn't think it was going to be quite the lift for you all that it turned out to be. Thank you for joining us every single week. We appreciate you. It's more than just for the young professionals to come and learn, but they also had you to go back to their programs and kind of learn, and you were there to help them. So thank you to the program coordinators for really assisting in this process. And the judges, again, JPMorgan Chase, can't say enough about the great work that you do. Thank you so much. And our partners in this, I'm the mentor side of it, right? I come from mentor, but we had to work with Department of Family and Support Services in order to find the young professionals and to find programs that wanted to do this workshop. So thank you so much to Department of Family and Support Services. So lots of thank yous. Any shout outs? Specifically to anyone, anything, real quick? If not, that's okay too.
I'll give a shout out to Dan. Great work with App Accelerator. All the time you're spending with those groups, it really is showing. And of course, shout outs to Team Beat Street.
Oh, thank you, Ashley.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dan. And thank you again. Thank you, everybody, for helping us get to where we are today. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I can't. Thank you. Thank you.
Nice. Okay. And without further ado, the winners. There were 3 winners. We talked about there being 3 teams. It's not a first, second, third. It's just 3 winning teams. And the winners are Team Rodak, Brighton Park Group 1, and South Shore Group 2. Again, Team Rodak, Brighton Park Group 1, and South Shore Group 2. Congratulations.
Congrats, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
everyone.
Congratulations.
Well done.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Well, I can't believe we actually